just keep off, that's it, because your right foot's just touching that pedal, Elsie, so keep that one off there. Okay, right, so we're going to move off. So if you put the clutch down and keep off the accelerator, keep off. Hear that noise that the engine's making? That's because your right foot's hitting the accelerator. Now we'll go to first gear. Ease off now. Your clutch isn't right down, push it right down, that's it. Now to move the car away, you're going to let the clutch pedal come up. So up very, very slowly. You feel that? Now if you put the clutch pedal all the way down again, good. And the car is no longer driving anymore. It's actually slowing down, isn't it? Because you've got your clutch down, therefore the engine is disconnected from the wheels. Now, we'll wait for this car just to go past you. Now if you let the clutch up slowly, you'll get a special part of the clutch there, that's called biting point. That is the moment where the engine just begins to drive the car, the biting point, yeah? We'll try that again. So if you put your clutch all the way down, what you've done now, you've disconnected the engine from the wheels. The engine can no longer drive the car. Now if you bring the clutch up slowly, take notice of how far you come up. You come up and up to there. That's biting point, where the car begins to drive. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Once you get to that part, now you can start to press the accelerator. So you just touch that very, very gently. A little bit more. And then hear the noise of the engine now. So that's the point where the engine has had enough and we must change to second gear. So put your hand on the gear lever. The clutch goes down all the way and you do that. The clutch comes up all the way and then we're off again. Notice a different tone from the engine now. It's more relaxed, isn't it? It's not revving up. Now see, not much, just ever so slightly onto this nice bit of road surface. Good. Now we just keep accelerating a little bit more. So we've got moving off, we've got up to second gear, we're getting a little bit faster now, and we're going to get third gear next. So put your hand on the gear lever, put the clutch down and take your foot off the accelerator. Now change the gear, that's it. Bring the clutch back up and then you go back on the accelerator. That's good. Now we're going to pull up and stop. So when you want to stop, always have a look here in the mirror. Use your brake a tiny little bit with your right foot and then put the clutch down with your left foot. Put it all the way down. Right, and then put the gear in neutral and take your feet off the pedals. Right, Elsie, how was that?
That's good.
That wasn't so bad, was it?
No.
Nothing to be frightened of, is it? Yeah, it's all about just getting used to it and feeling like you understand. You have to understand. Biggest part of my job is making people understand what they're trying to do, not just get in a car and bum 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 drive off and not know what's going on. So just towards the end, just one little mistake, pressing a bit too hard on the brake, but that's understandable. Until you get the feel for that, then you'll get a few jumpy stops until you can press nice and gently on there. Any questions?
No.
Okay, so we're going to put the clutch pedal right down and that will start the engine when you do that. And I'm going to press that button in so it doesn't cut out the next time. Right, so now put your clutch right down to the floor. Always push it as far as forward as it will go. Now do first gear. Then you're going to let the clutch up very carefully. When you let the clutch up, hold your breath. Just literally don't breathe. Let it up slowly, slowly, slowly. You've heard of the car stalling, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's when the car stalls, just as you're moving off. That's why you've got to hold your breath to make sure it doesn't. Now second gear, get it revving, so clutch down and off the accelerator. So you cannot move the gear lever until your clutch is down. Yeah? And the moment your clutch goes down, your accelerator should come off. Now we're going to ease right off the accelerator now. Just use the brake a little bit, not to stop us this time, but just to slow us down a little bit. That's good. Now take the brake off again. That's done the job I wanted to. As we come down here, we're going to turn round to the left. So if you want to just click the indicator down, that's it. Keep us slightly out that way so we don't hit that big drain, and then just turn the wheel round and round. Doesn't matter how you do it. And we're just going to keep going forward a little bit more, and we're going to stop on your left just down here before we get to the bushes. So if you come off the accelerator again, use a gentle little touch on the brake and put the clutch all the way down, all the way down. With the clutch on the way down, Elsie, you can do it really quickly.
Okay.
You don't need to be slow and careful on the way down. When you stop, you've got to keep the clutch down. I've kept it down for you. Keep it right down until you put the gear in neutral. Otherwise, again, you will stall the car if you let the clutch up with the car still in gear. Because what does the clutch do? It can, yeah, and it also makes the power, so it connects and disconnects the power from the engine to the wheels. That's what the clutch does. Yep. Okay, right, so what I want you to do now is put the clutch down again and go into first gear. And then, without using the accelerator, we're going to turn the car all the way right round 180 degrees to go back up the other way. Right, so if you just let the clutch up a little bit, and the moment the car moves, there, hold the clutch. Now if you keep the clutch there, the car will not be allowed to go any faster. So you can turn the wheel round and round and round, and if it goes any faster, put the clutch down. Keep turning. And now turn the wheel back again. And now put the clutch down a little bit again. Just see how that works, you see? Because, again, I keep coming back to it. I know I'm getting boring now, but what the clutch does. If you bring it up, try it, the car moves. Push it down, the car doesn't move. And equally, the more and the quicker you bring it up, the quicker the car drives off. So if you're doing something that requires you to go very, 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 very slow, you must not let the clutch come suddenly up. Otherwise you lose control and you're gone. Yep. So if you're going in and out of a junction, in and out of a tight driveway, around a very tight corner, then the way that you control the car is with the clutch. Yep. So we're going to go round the bend to the right here again, let the clutch back up to the top, and just go gently on the accelerator. Good, now we're going to pick up a little bit more speed, and now get ready for second gear. So hand ready, clutch down, down, clutch isn't down, off the accelerator, clutch up. So again, Elsie, what was happening there is you're trying to move the gear lever without the clutch being down. It won't go, it won't go. So put the clutch down first, take your foot off the accelerator second, and once you've done that, that's when you try and move the gear lever. The problem is that when we say we're going to change a gear, what do you think of? You think of this, don't you? You think change the gear. But you can't do that until you've done that. Okay, so now we're going to get ready for third gear. So put your hand on the gear lever, put the clutch down and take your foot off the accelerator. Now change the gear. Bring the clutch back up and then go back on the accelerator. That was easier, wasn't it? Yep. Right, now we're just going to come up and pull up and stop again. So again, have a check in the mirror. Come right off the accelerator now. Put the clutch all the way down, and then you can keep your left hand on the steering wheel until you stop. Just use a little tiny bit of foot brake. A little bit of brake to bring this to a stop. Perfect. Okay, then put the gear in neutral again and pull that thing up. That's called the handbrake. Then you can breathe again. Okay, right, you've done okay, done fine. Obviously in the beginning everyone was a little bit apprehensive, a little bit frightened of it, and then you just gradually, with a bit more time and a bit more practice, gain a bit more confidence. Okay, all ready to change?
Yep.
So we jump round and see how we go.